This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
He was a Giant, and he was a Cowboy. Now these two former rivals have joined forces to bring you the most insightful, perceptive, and controversial sports talk podcast in America. Former Dallas Cowboys defensive end Jim Jeffcoat locks horns with former New York Giants wide receiver Byron Williams. And now, here's Byron Williams and Jim Jeffcoat.
Good evening, Byron.
Hey, good evening. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing good.
Well, it's a Wednesday night. Week 14 is over. Some good NFL football.
Really good NFL football.
We getting ready to know who's getting ready to go to the playoffs and all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, the only team that's already qualified is Philadelphia. The Eagles have already qualified for the playoffs.
Yeah. That's a guarantee for them. They got that 12 games. I think they won.
Yeah, here's an interesting thing, and I don't agree with it. Micah Parsons said that Jalen Hurts is not the MVP. Why would you even say that? It doesn't make sense.
As of right now, he is the MVP.
Yeah, they have the best team. They have the best record. And why are you worried about Mike? You better worry about Trevor Lawrence.
Absolutely. And then they had the hands full this past week with the Houston Texans.
Yeah, and on our Sunday with Mac, Jack, and Jim, I knew we were in trouble because we never play well against the Texans, regardless of the record. It doesn't really matter because that's the way it is. We don't play well against them. We gave them their first win.
Well, one of the things that people got to realize when some teams just best play against each other differently, and they play. It's a toss-up sometimes when they play this interstate rivalry. The Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys always have had physical games. Yeah,
and Houston plays that old Tampa too. And you know how you attack Tampa 2 is in the middle of the field. And for whatever reason, Prescott kept trying to go to those corners. The receivers. And you can't do that in Tampa 2. You got to have the tight end. You get those corners to stretch it, and those tight ends hit you up the middle. That's how they won the game.
Well, one of the things that the Cowboys got to be alert for, now you don't have other teams playing that same style of offense and style of defense against them because it's working. They didn't seem to make the adjustments at the very end of the game.
Exactly. And I think they lost Hankins, who they got from Oakland, and they just got him, and he's gone for he's on IR. He's gone for 4 games with a pectoral injury. They get Jason Peters, I thought did a tremendous job coming in. But now he's going to have to go to the right side. And Tyron Smith is coming back, which I don't have a lot of trust in.
Yeah, he hadn't played it down this season. So, people got to realize this coming off that knee injury and then having to go in and play a full-time position like that, it's going to be very challenging,
Yeah. He's a future Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer at one time, but it was interesting. First of all, let's talk about a couple of injuries. Kyler Murray's gone for the season, and he had tore his ACL, and it was a non-contact injury.
Yeah, he was. He's running down the field on the right side, and he tried to make a move down, and instead of going down, he tweaked that knee and made an awkward move, I guess, and tore that knee up.
And that's unfortunate. Anytime.
That just goes to show you, you don't have to have a lick or something on your body somewhere to be injured in the NFL.
That's true. You're exactly right. And I feel bad for the. I'm not a big Kyler Murray fan, but you never want to see anybody with that kind of talent to get injured because Oh, there's Jason. I'm surprised came after what happened to Minnesota in Detroit.
Yeah, I got a couple of Minnesota Vikings here at the event tonight, Jason. So
Yeah, you need to bring them on and say hello to Jason.
They came in with their head down like the Vikings lost. Did the Vikings lose this past weekend? See, Jason, I got my head up and Giants lost. So hey, man, that's part of it.
Yeah, we got Alfred Anderson here, Jason.
Yeah, Alfred Anderson here. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. You know, I'm trying to every now and then step out with a little coat and tie or whatever. I ain't got no tie on, but I got a little jacket on, you know.
Jason will be in Arlington tomorrow, Byron.
What?
Yeah, his fiance's son is playing for the state championship game.
Congratulations.
Offensive lineman plays for Gunner High School.
Gunner, man.
Yeah, so that would be 3A.
Yeah, Gunner and Salina, all those teams out there really have improved.
They have. There's a population boom up that way. But
yeah, Alito, all those teams like that are tough to beat in the state of Texas.
Jason's been out there working with his fiance's son, getting them ready, and Joe. They've been out. Jason put on a pair of pads and everything.
Well, Jason, congratulations on getting that young man ready for the state playoff, state championship. It's hard to get to state in the state of Texas. I'm telling you.
Yes, it is. You got to play almost to Christmas to get there. Yeah. So, yeah. You're exactly right.
Right. Yeah.
You're exactly right.
So we are. Yeah, it's you know, they call it Jerry World in the state championship game. So it's gonna be a lot of games going on.
Yeah, there is.
Tomorrow and Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, there is. What's happening is Byron has he's the head of the NFL Players Association and former players in Texas or Dallas, and he's having an event tonight, and we're both at the event. So that's the only reason Byron's all dressed up. He usually doesn't dress like that.
That you're telling everybody. But you know, in the background, we do have the AT&T Stadium in the background over here, and it's a Lowe's Hotel.
Yes.
Live. And then on the flip side, we got the big Texas Rangers Globe Live.
Texas Live. Yeah, it looks good.
And then across the street, we got the new XFL football stadium where the Rangers used to play.
Choctaw.
Yeah. So
a couple of teams played there for their playoff games.
Yeah. So they the Rock and the XFL got their main office right across the street over here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Andre Gerard is part of the Arlington Renegades with the XFL. So excited about sports here in the city of Arlington.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's Andre doing with him?
I think he's coaching. He called me this week and told me he was coaching the XFL.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every team is here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's excited about this season getting kicked off. They'll kick up this spring, I think. They'll kick off and get going.
Yeah. So back to injuries. There was the Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy.
Yes.
For the San Francisco 49ers. And he he is the first quarterback who started his first game to beat Tom Brady.
Yeah, he made history.
First one. Yeah, he made history. He also injured himself. He injured his oblique, and they play tomorrow night against Seattle. And they don't know, he's questionable to play. I'm sure he'll play, but how effective will he be with an oblique injury?
Well, you know, I watched him at Iowa State, and he, it had a good. The draft class was kind of so-so, but when you call a player Mr. Irrelevant, you know, he's the last player taken in the draft.
Exactly.
That this guy got the potential, and now, you know, playing in that West Coast offense, you know, he's really bringing it. I'm excited for him. I mean, he's playing great. I think he have seen enough this year, and you know, he stepped up and scoring 35 points against Tampa Bay. The defense is Tampa Bay don't have a bad defense, so you know he played the game and managed the game real well.
Yeah, What I think is happening myself personally, they were complaining about the playing fields, but Santa Clara is a grass field. And he hurt his oblique. Debo Sanders hurt his knee and his ankle. And then you have Kyler Murray, who tears his ACL. So I don't know if it's all the playing field. There's something going on in training to me.
But one of the things too is it's some inconsistency with the playing field. You know, the Arizona field is on a tray. They bring that field in and they take it out. Some field, and then you got these different types of turf field. I know the NFLPA identified 7 fields that was unsafe in the National Football League. So
Really?
I think So I think that MetLife is one of those fields. So I know the Cincinnati Bengals field was unsafe. That's typically based off of injuries. So
that's interesting.
Yeah,
I know the Cowboys lost that Terrence Steele to an injury on their last game against the Texans. He's out for the year. Hankins in the pec, and then you have other players that have they've lost. Anthony Brown, he's lost for a year with torn Achilles.
Yeah,
it's not happening just to them. The Giants are losing. Saquon with his neck, and I think it's his shoulder.
Well, one of the things you got to see after 12 to 14 games, that used to be a full season in the National Football League.
That is true.
About 25, 30 years ago. Now, you're talking about 17 weeks, 18 weeks for a full season. Then you're talking playoffs. It's only so much your body can take too. So it's almost a double season in one.
Yeah, and that you got a good point there. So that even makes Tom Brady more amazing if you think about it. You say, well, he's a quarterback, but still, the pounding he took on Sunday was that was horrific. He was getting hit.
Well, one of the things I was going to ask you about, I saw this young man named Jared Phillips play for the Dolphins.
Yes.
He had a sack, and he hit the quarterback, and they called roughing the passer, right?
Yes.
Did you see that play?
Yes, I did.
That play right there shouldn't have been called.
And that's what even Troy Vincent said that. They're going to have to start reviewing these plays or roughing the quarterback because they're calling them wrong.
Yeah. I think roughing the quarterback and hitting the quarterback, leading in with your head, all of that has been identified. But when you leave it up to the referees, you got to go to the replay booth and see if they're officially really calling the right thing, because everybody is seeing.
No question. And now they're going to start reviewing them because they're having issues. But Troy Vincent said that roughing the quarterback is down 62%. I was reading it today, and you got a good point. But this is the second year that I've ever seen when you sack a quarterback, you get a roughing the quarterback penalty. I have never seen that before.
Never seen that before either. This is and it's making a frown on the game, because now defensive line or defensive linebackers or the rush guys don't know how to let up, or just maybe you hit him and or either just touch him. Maybe they'll blow the whistle. I don't know how they're going to dictate what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you a question. There was an incident with Devontae Parker in New England against Arizona, and what had happened was Parker got a concussion, and they're supposed to have a spotter up in the stadium looking for these things, and it took another player. I think I might be, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was Nelson Aguilar had to call people out there to get him because he didn't know where he was. And what was the spotter supposed to do? Was he in the stadium? Was he looking at this, or was he somewhere and didn't spot it? Because that could have been a really horrific thing.
Absolutely, and then go ahead.
No,
Now, I just say either the referees are supposed to be engaged in that, and maybe they part of trying to identify players when they get these concussions. Because usually, you ask a couple of questions, or you see if they can recall, or you see if they staggering, if they got their balance. But definitely, they got to get a better grip on concussion protocols and so forth, because this can be devastating.
Yeah. And then we got Daniel Jones, who's been sacked 55 times. Wow.
Wow. That's a and you
That's
know what, he took a lot of sacks this past weekend. I think he had eight sacks against him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Eagles are leading the league now in sacks because of that game.
Oh yeah, they definitely had a big game against Daniel Jones this past weekend.
Yeah. And that is, I mean, that shortens your career. I don't care what anybody says. Getting hit as a quarterback that many times, 55 times sacked.
That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. I know. Joe Burrow got sacked a lot last year.
Yeah.
Maybe 60 sometimes, maybe close to 70 times.
I think he did. I think
Yeah.
he did. And I think it shortens your career in the long term. I'd rather get the ball out. And that's one of the reasons that Tom Brady lasted so long is he has such a quick release.
Quick release, and he has some good linemen, and he got great pocket presence. I mean, he let that ball go in a good timeout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you don't want to get getting hit that much. Although I thought he got hit quite a bit last week, more than I've seen him recently get hit. And they are struggling with their offensive line health. Now, here's the question I have while we're talking is the Carolina Panthers are making a move. And they are getting better. They could possibly win that division and get a home playoff game. Do you keep Steve Wilkes if they get to the playoffs?
I think I definitely keep Steve Wilkes because you can see the turnaround. You can see the players, the overall morale of the team responding to him, and he's got highly respect. I mean, he seemed to be a player coach, and you can tell that they have switched their whole mindset. I mean, they've taken advantage of the trade that they had with Christian McCaffrey that went to the 49ers. They're going to have some good players to draft. And I think now they got their quarterback situation settled.
So you think Sam Darnold can be the quarterback?
Sam Darnold is a great quarterback. I think it's all about not making good judgmental decisions as a quarterback and not making mistakes, not throwing interceptions. I mean, you got to manage games, and I think you get that type of quarterback with the style of talent that they have. They got a great defense. I think they can really surprise some team, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah. So speaking on that same subject, is Baker Mayfield goes there last week. What did he get in Tuesday? He plays on Thursday, was it, or Saturday?
He played Thursday night football.
Thursday night. He was there 2 days.
Yes, the Raiders.
And beat the Raiders.
16-17.
Yeah, 16-17. Can you believe that? And had the game-winning drive.
Well, sometimes a player just needs a shot in the arm, and I think that's what he got. I think he had a whole chance of getting it right. I mean, he's got a lot of praises from McVay, the coach, and he made some adjustments on the football field. I mean, he scrambled with the ball one time and hopped up, ran back to the huddle, and he was just excited to play. I think sometimes a new environment, a new chapter, it gave him a lot of momentum, and I think he's taking it and running with it.
I agree with you 100%. And, it's kind of ironic because Odell Beckham Jr. goes there and gets him a Super Bowl ring. Baker Mayfield goes there and wins a game. The Rams are becoming a team for wayward kids. That's what's happening with them. And it's kind of ironic that they both go there And they might have Odell Beckham, unfortunately, if he didn't get injured, he saved his career. And now Baker Mayfield has an opportunity to save his career. We're going to talk about it later, but he's starting this week.
Yeah, he's starting this weekend. I think that's good, and I think that's what players are looking for, an opportunity to showcase their talent. You might have a bad situation at one team, but you keep turning the page, especially if you got a passion to play the game of football, and it's only so many opportunities that you're gonna get in life. So I think Baker Mayfield he's fired up about it.
Yeah, and you can say the same thing for Geno Smith, who might be the comeback player of the year.
Geno Smith is considered the comeback player of the year, and I just hate they lost that game last week, but they still in the playoff hunt. So
yeah, we're gonna find out a lot about them this week when they play San Francisco, and San Francisco and Seattle play, and that's gonna be an interesting game from the standpoint. San Francisco can run the ball even without Deebo Samuels. They can run the ball, and that's scary because you got McCaffrey. McCaffrey can catch. He's a nightmare in the wide open because he can do that. And then they got Brandon Ayuk to take some of the receiving, and nobody ever talks about George Kittle anymore.
George Kittle is still a secret weapon. I'm telling you, he's still a secret weapon. So.
Yeah, and they have a #1 defense. You need to get somebody. Bring them on over.
No, let me get JT. Come on over here. We got JT Smith.
JT Smith.
The JT Smith, one of the greatest wide receivers to ever play the game in the National Football League. Come sit right here, JT.
Hello.
How you doing, JT?
How you doing?
All right.
You guys got a good conversation going on over here.
Yeah. I have to always do it because Byron, he just follows my lead.
Okay, well, I'm following your lead too right now.
Well, we're receivers. Hey, 2 receivers. We ain't gonna follow your lead. We're gonna have to bring you up.
Oh, whatever. All right. Hey, JT, we were having an argument before the show, and you can help me out with this. Byron has a big head, don't he?
Look,
and it's tiny.
he's behind me, so I'll hold that comment.
Oh man, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's good. Guys, we get together like this, and Byron set it up. It's a good thing.
Yeah, he does a good job of it. He does his job. Now, what teams did you play for?
When I came out of University of North Texas, Joe Green had recruiters down there. Mm-hmm. So he's still hanging around and doing good.
Yes, I know Joe. I know Joe very well.
I went to the Washington Redskins, and then from there I went to Kansas City.
Okay, so you played.
Yeah, from Kansas City, and then they wouldn't let me play receivers, so I made the Pro Bowl in punt return. So that next deal, I went to St. Louis because Emmett Thomas had me to come down there. So I was like, man, I was waiting on Miami. Reno there, and I was like, man, okay, I'm coming. So I went down there, and it was an eye-opening thing. You almost had to wash your own clothes down there when you first got there in St. Louis.
Wow.
Yeah,
how many years did you get in?
I got 13.
13?
Yeah.
So we played against each other. I started in '83. I was me and Byron in the same class.
Oh, okay.
And then I finished in '98.
Okay. Wasn't a good team though, was it?
In '98?
No, were they a team, Dallas?
Oh, shoot. Like I heard you before. Everybody's gonna hate on this. It's okay.
It is what it is.
Right. How many games they win in '88?
Oh, they didn't win very many in '88.
They won 1 game.
That's when you guys got.
That was '89, Byron.
He said '89.
Hey, shoot! Sometimes you're gonna have some bumps in the road. That's just part of playing in the NFL.
Only thing I know, I ain't never been on a team that won 1 game.
Did you?
Byron, you only played 4 years. If you play 15 years, you're gonna be on the team.
Hey, you are so right. I think I worst. Well, we got 4. We got 4 games in. That's about the most we won with.
We were trying to get Troy Aikman, so we kind of blew everything off that, so we get Troy.
Yeah, and we towed Troy up. We towed Troy up that year when he came. Yeah, that was bad. But it turned out good.
Yeah, it did. We got a couple Super Bowls out of it.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Byron didn't tell you. He called us on a slant route. We took it to it wasn't a slant. It was a post route. Took it to the house. He got the guy. Byron took it to the house.
Byron took it. Oh, he ain't showed that yet.
Yeah, on the post route.
It was against Everson Walls, you know.
It was against Everson Walls.
To the Hall of Fame.
The next week we cut Walls.
Oh wow, that's a good one. Yeah.
You don't be acting up on the show, man.
I'll be watching Walls too. He's the holiness. He holds every time. I said, man, what is wrong with you? You compare to Lester Hayes. I just saw with Everson too, with Mark Clayton down there. I saw both of them boys.
Yeah. But it's a blessing to have the opportunity to play in the NFL.
Yes, it is.
Not everybody gets that opportunity.
Wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah, my son played 3 years in, and he plays up in Canada. He's been playing up there quite a bit, but like I said, it's always a blessing to have the opportunity to play at the highest level.
Yeah, but he'll do good up there, and then he'll.
Oh no, he's been up there. He won 2 Canadian championships, Grey Cup.
Blue Cups, Grey Cups.
Yeah, Grey Cups.
Yeah.
And then they lost their third. They were in it again, and they lost it by 1 point.
He's doing good.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask.
That's it. Hey, shoot. He's not on my payroll anymore. That's all I can ask.
No, that's a real good thing.
That's it. That's it. Now, you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area?
Yes, I'm in Dallas-Fort Worth. I've been back from Arizona for about 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I live up in the Frisco area, north. Frisco, so I live up there. My company's up that way. So.
Okay, I like North Richland Hill. That's where I was staying.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I was up there, and then we moved back to Arizona, and then we just came back. So I'm in the DeSoto area now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, me and Byron got to talk about some of these games this week.
All right.
So we can make our predictions on the game. What's our record, Byron? Who's winning, me or you, on the predictions?
I don't think I am.
I made sure I took notes. You'll lose.
Well, let's pull them up.
All right. I'm going to let y'all go with it.
Thank you, JT.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right. Good meeting you, JT.
Hey, my pleasure.
So, JT was North Texas, Mean Green.
Yep.
Played with Joe Green and those guys.
Yep. Hey, let's start on these games so we make sure we get them in. There's Saturday games this week.
Yeah.
The first game is Indianapolis against Minnesota. Hopefully Jason's still out there.
Well, Minnesota, I got to get Alfred Anderson over here. Minnesota, they mad, so you know they're gonna
take it out on Indianapolis.
I'm taking Minnesota. They hadn't lost 2 games in a row this year.
Yep. I would take Minnesota too. Baltimore against Cleveland.
Man, Baltimore, they find a way to win.
I was shocked last week.
But you know what? They are talking about Deshaun Watson pretty bad.
Really?
I heard rumor that they said that they wasted money on him.
What?
That was said this week. A couple of people made that statement.
Jason just because we picked Minnesota.
Yeah.
Jason, we got a couple, like I said, we got a couple Vikings here. So they're here. But the only thing I think about it is that Baltimore, how they're doing it, because Cleveland can rush the quarterback. And if Huntley can't play, they got another guy who hasn't played.
Yeah. So I always have thought Cleveland was going to surprise some team because they've been known to come back the second half of the season every year. So, they always play teams tough in their division. That's one thing you can say about the Browns. They play the Bengals tough. They play the Ravens tough, and then they play the Steelers. So they usually play those teams pretty tough.
Yeah. And Jason, I have to eat my words. Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson played well. It was the defense that struggled against the defense that struggled against Detroit. But Miami at Buffalo, there's supposed to be at least 4 to 7 inches of snow, which is obviously an advantage for Buffalo. I'm going with Buffalo.
Yeah, I had to go with Buffalo. The receiver didn't look that good other night. And Tua, man, he was throwing the ball. Sometimes I didn't know who he was trying to throw the ball to.
Exactly. He was getting that California life or whatever. They stayed in California. They never even went home.
Yeah, I think they stayed a little bit too long over there in California.
I agree.
They was over there 2 weeks in a row.
I agree. And they got beat both times.
Both times. That ain't good.
Times. Yeah. Okay, that's for Saturday. Now we're going to Sunday, the 18th. We got Philadelphia at Chicago.
Philadelphia at Chicago. I don't see Chicago even playing that good against Philly. But not right now.
I would agree. Chicago has a chance for about a minute, and then it's going to be over. Because Philly's playing that good. And they're getting better as the season progresses. They struggle a little bit with some teams, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, but they're that talented. A.J. Brown, he undercover might be the MVP.
Yeah.
That was the worst trade. That was the worst trade that could have happened, getting A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown is really taking advantage of it, and he's happy now. At first he was mad about it, but he done made the most of it.
He took it out on Tennessee. He's beating everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
He might be the best player right now, best receiver in the league.
He gonna definitely make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, and he'll be able to play flag football there. Okay, we got Atlanta at New Orleans.
Atlanta and New Orleans.
They're starting a new quarterback.
Yeah, I'm going with New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with New Orleans.
Yeah.
Now Marcus Mariota went on IR. They said after he was benched, he just walked off and left and didn't come back.
Yeah, and the point is, Marcus he never played a complete season yet, so don't surprise me that he's done gave up.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Him and Sam Darnold were 1 and 2, right?
Absolutely, I think so.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. The top 2 quarterbacks, both of them are basically journeymen.
Yeah, they hadn't lived up to expectations, that's for sure.
Yeah. Here is a good game. Detroit at the New York Jets.
Good game. I'm just thinking Detroit hadn't played good on the road, but I think the Jets got to have this win. So Detroit, 5 in a row, something like that?
Yes.
But you know what? You got to give credit to the Detroit coaches. I mean, they have really stepped up and got that team ready to go, and they've been playing hard.
Yeah. That's a tough one. I agree with most of them. but I'm gonna go with the Jets on this because I just like you said, I think Detroit struggles some. It's not Jared Goff. I think the defense struggles on the road.
Yeah, and I just think the Jets just gonna be. I think they're gonna get it right this week, and I think this is the week that they turn back to the winning category.
But it is all predicated on the health of Mike White.
Yeah,
he got beat up pretty good.
He took a heck of a shot from a linebacker.
They had to rush him to the hospital, and he had rib injuries, and they were afraid he might have a lacerated liver. But he's supposedly going to start this week with guess who is the backup? Zach Wilson, not Joe. What's his name? The one that used to be
Joe Flacco.
Flacco. They're putting Zach Wilson as the backup.
Yeah, so they paid Zach Wilson too much money. He got to come in and play.
Yeah.
If he needs to.
I'm going to go with the Jets still.
I'm going with the Jets too. I'm going with the Jets.
Pittsburgh at Carolina.
I'm going with Carolina.
Me too. I thought Pittsburgh was going to have a 500 record, but it'll be after what happened last week with Baltimore. Baltimore's down all those quarterbacks, and they can't even score. They ran the ball well against Pittsburgh. And J.K. Dobbins came in, another Texas kid came in.
I think he had 127 yards.
Yes, he did. So I'm going to go with Carolina because it's at Carolina.
Yeah.
Dallas at Jackson. Huh?
I'm going with the home team as well.
Yeah. Dallas at Jacksonville. To me, this is a statement game for Dallas. Either they go there and play well because they're playing against a quarterback that can get them. Trevor Lawrence can get them, and they got a big-time running back in Travis Etienne.
And that first player that was taken in the draft last year got his sack. He's on a sack trail, so I'm going.
He sure did. Sacking, he caused the fumble too.
Yeah, so I'm going with the Jaguars.
I'm going with Dallas.
I know. I knew that.
Kansas City at Houston.
Kansas City.
Why?
They just got Houston number for one.
Yeah.
And I just think Kansas City Houston threw in the towel, and
they didn't go there last week.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think Kansas City's going to get after him pretty good.
They ain't got no quarterback. Houston don't have a quarterback.
Yeah. Arizona at Denver. Wilson might not play this week.
That's a toss-up, but I'm going with Denver.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Denver, too. I'm going to go with Denver because I just don't think Arizona can get it done. New England at Las Vegas. This is an interesting game.
New England?
At Las Vegas.
I thought they just definitely New
England played Arizona.
Yeah. So I'm going with New England again. They go. That defense looks good, better and better.
Yeah, I just wonder if New England spent the time out in the West Coast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'm thinking they might did what the Dolphins did. Maybe they stayed out there since they got back-to-back weeks out there on the West Side.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with New England, but I wonder. And then Tennessee at the Chargers.
Tennessee at the Chargers?
LA Chargers, yeah.
I'm going with the Chargers.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Chargers. I think they are Tennessee is too dependent. That's their second loss in a row. And they're too dependent on
Derrick Henry.
And I think that's hurting them. And then losing their receiver hurt them too. And
they won the Mitchell, so they definitely, if they had a little passing attack like they had last year with AJ, I think they'll be a little bit more better to defend against. So I'm thinking they are lacking in that department.
I agree. And then we got Cincinnati at Tampa Bay.
Cincinnati gonna do like they did last year. They taking on some challenges. It's hard. It's gonna be hard to beat Cincinnati. So I'm taking Cincinnati.
Do you think this is Tom Brady's swan song?
I think so.
Wow. Yeah.
I think so.
I think Cincinnati will win, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be a fight.
Yeah, anytime you play Tampa Bay and Tampa, though, they always play well at home. So that's another thing too.
Yeah. Then we got the New York Giants at Washington.
I'm going with the Giants.
You are going with the Giants?
Yeah, I'm going with the Giants.
I'm kind of shocked that you're going with the Giants. No, I'm going with Washington. Washington's playing pretty well right now.
Well, what's going to happen with the Washington team? They're going out and they're going to party a little bit Friday because they're playing at home. And then we're going to sneak in and close the door.
Okay. But I'm still going with Washington.
Okay.
Now, the Monday night game is the LA Rams against the Green Bay Packers.
Man, just flipped the coin up on that one. But I'm taking the Green Bay Packers because Aaron Rodgers said that he ain't going to give up and he's going to continue to play hard.
Yeah, and he'll get Romeo Doubs back. He's getting another receiver back. And also Baker Mayfield is starting, and it's at Green Bay. So I'm going to go with Green Bay. And I agree with the things that you said, but I think that the Rams got a lot of problems that they can't solve.
Yeah.
Their salary cap is awful. They're getting a lot of injuries. It wouldn't shock me if McVay and Aaron Donald retire after this year. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, there's gonna be some changes. They probably gonna do some clearing house moves this offseason.
I would agree. Now, you got to get us some players to talk to while we're sitting here.
Lifford. We got a Miami Dolphins. Lifford Howley is from Shreveport, Louisiana. He went to LSU. He's currently the president of the NFL alumni chapter here in the DFW, and he's just such a great guy.
He is a great guy.
His head shine more than yours. So here go Lifford. I'm gonna get some more guys. Here go Lifford.
Lifford, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, boss. How are you?
Good. We're just running our podcast. It goes all over the country and everything. And just tell us a little bit about your career.
Well, started my career as an athlete coming out of Shreveport Bird High School. And I earned a scholarship to LSU. And I can tell you that the history of that is if you look it up, you'll probably see it. People won't believe it. But 1980, I was the first black to go to LSU from my high school.
Oh, really?
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Wow.
And along with a couple others that actually had one other who was Marcus Moore, who went to a rival high school, who also was probably the first from his high school to go to LSU on a football scholarship. We actually had a great opportunity there. I ended up turning it into an NFL career after, drafted by the Steelers in the third round. And that's when you learn really quickly this is a real business because I got cut after 3 preseason games. I had to go back to my toolbox and sharpen my skill set a little bit, Jim. So
you always got to keep it sharpened.
That's for sure. And I learned that early, that first year, and I ended up sitting out a year, not playing in 1986.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, I didn't play at all. I actually was an insulator for a company in Baton Rouge for about a year that taught me a craft that I'd never want to do again.
So tell us a little bit about your role.
Well, right now with the NFL alumni, I'm the president of the NFL DFW chapter. I also present the Arkansas, state of Arkansas, and North Louisiana as well. So Basically, my role is to find great opportunities for our players, be it whatever their needs are. And then, of course, we're caring for kids in every sport organization as well. So we try and produce activities in schools and also build relationships with universities as well.
That's
We
great.
have a great platform with an organization called Hope Initiative. You'll probably see a lot of that coming up because we're actually on the curse of doing a lot of things with universities and high schools to give the kids an opportunity to have a voice on inclusion and diversity in this country. So we want to start with the kids and give them an opportunity to grow and learn how to become better neighbors to each other.
There you go. There you go. Well, thank you for your time. I won't keep you long.
We did talk about a little bit of the football camp that we did.
Oh
this
yeah,
past
so
summer.
yeah.
we were together. We had had a couple of camps, and leaving Byron's camp, I came back to Fort Worth, and we had a camp set up with one of the local high schools, which is O.D. Wyatt, and we just happened to use that same model, which is a combine model.
Yes.
And every kid there loved it. So I think having that type of model in place where they're actually getting benefits, not only the on the field activity, but the afterward activities that we had an opportunity to listen and let them have an opportunity to talk about some of the things they want to see changed in their communities.
Wow, that's great.
So that's the great initiative that we actually have the ability to provide to our kids in the communities around the DFW, Arkansas, and North Louisiana area.
And hey, it's a great thing that you're doing. So keep it up.
Oh yeah, I want to go out and see if I can shake a lot more hands of young men that are actually caring about their community and want to do something about it.
Good. But like I said, I know you want to sit there and talk to the guys, so we won't keep you long.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me on, and welcome. I'll be happy to come back anytime.
Thank you.
Also are working now. Get ready for next year because the NFL Alumni Village in Arizona.
Yes.
I won't open the bag and tell you what's going to happen, but boy, I tell you what, you better make it to Arizona.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm gonna remember that.
It's going to be the first of its kind. And moving forward, it's going to be a similarity of that and duplicated from years to years to come.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we got.
Hey, we got Alfred Addison with the Minnesota Vikings.
Jason might think.
Former head coach.
He got all these muscles. Look at these muscles.
Alfred has Alfred's had quite a career. How you doing, Alfred?
I'm doing good, I'm doing good.
Yeah, we played against each other, and it wasn't an easy time. It wasn't like playing the easy teams like the Giants. It was because I got to listen to Byron and the producer are huge Giants fans.
You make jokes. That's all. You make jokes.
Yeah, I know. He was talking about the Giants tonight.
And I grew up 25 miles away from the stadium. I grew up there. So.
Oh, okay. Well, cool, brother. Cool.
At that time, I was a Giants fan, and Byron was a Cowboys fan. But when we started getting those paychecks, he became a Giants fan, and I became a Cowboys fan.
Hey, that's the way it goes sometimes, Doc.
Yeah. Now, Alfred, you played at the University of Houston, right?
No, I played at Baylor.
Oh, you played at Baylor?
I played at Baylor now. That's where I was going to go when I left high school. University of Houston was the school I was going to go to.
Yes.
And sometimes you got to make a major decision. And I had to make a major decision not to go there, man. But that's where I was going to go. But like I say, God always have a plan for you. So
yes, he does.
So my plan was to go to Baylor, and it turned out to be a great decision.
That is a blessing. Now, who are some of the players you played with at Baylor?
Mike Singletary.
Yes.
Walter Abercrombie.
Oh, yes. And Walter is still involved with Baylor.
Right. He's the director of the Letterman Association down there.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. You know Dennis Gentry.
Yes.
Yeah. So I played with a lot of guys that played in the NFL.
Jason is a big fan of the Vikings. He grew up in Minnesota, and he asked you, what do you think of the Vikes this year?
I am proud of them. They've been doing a good job as far as winning, at the last minute. But last week was probably their poor performance out of this whole season. But as long as they continue to win and make the playoff, and anything can happen from there. So
Now, you had some talented teams too now.
we did. We had a couple
That's
times.
very talented.
Say hello.
Yeah, we were right. I know in '88, we were one game from going to the Super Bowl, and Washington beat us in the championship game. So, yeah, so we had a lot of fun.
It is fun. It is fun. It really is. And like I was telling the other guys, it's a blessing to have the opportunity to compete at the highest level in the NFL. So
that's correct.
It's a blessing because not everybody gets that opportunity.
That's right.
That opportunity. Yeah.
That's right.
All I ever wish that I did when I was in the NFL, I had a lot of things that I was blessed for, but I never got a chance to hit Byron on a slant route.
He's probably glad.
Hey, that's because you be on the bottom of the pile and I was fast. I was going there with the bad slow guy. Are you crazy? Are you serious right now? What?
Oh.
Look, come on over here, look.
That's cool, Jim.
All right.
Now, Jim, you played with Nate.
Yeah, I played with Nate.
I played with his brother Tim.
Oh yeah, I know Tim.
Yeah. So I know with those two guys, man, it's crazy being around them two guys. They have all day.
Yes.
Hey, Jim. I want to bring up Cliff Odom. Cliff played for the Colts and the Dolphins. He played 13 years linebacker. He was my mentor at UTA.
Go, Cliff.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Hey, I just want to tell you the truth. You did a terrible job.
Come on, man.
Now I know who to blame.
No, come on. This is some of my best work. I called him when he was that young recruit coming out of Liberty Isle up there in Texas.
I know. All the way out in Texas, far East Texas. Far East Texas. He'll throw a rock, he might be in Louisiana. But that's actually Arkansas.
No, man. But that's my guy, man. I can't believe we've been knowing each other ever since, 80? No, I'm sure. I'm 79. 79 we've been knowing each other, man. A long time stuff here, man.
Wow. Yeah, but Byron's a good person.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Sure. One of the best.
Wonderful man. He left me some money in here to say those things about him.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness here, man. But no,
man. We had some classic games against Miami now.
Oh yeah.
Classic Cowboys in Miami. I mean, they was
I tell you what, because we the last game I remember against the Cowboys in Miami, back in trying to think that 93 season when we played y'all in the that Snow Bowl up here.
Oh, remember that? Remember that?
Man. Hey, I was out there slipping and sliding around.
Oh man, that was crazy. And I've been friends with Dan since Marino. We were drafted in the first round in '83.
Right.
And I remember hitting him. He said, "Man, I thought we were friends." He said, "You broke my ribs." I said, "Damn." This is not personal.
No, hey, I know, man. It's like say, come on, Dan. It's just business, man. Hey, I tell you what. After the game, I take you out here at the park and we have a beer together, man.
That's right.
Now,
that's right. That's how
right now it's about business and stuff here, man.
Yeah. Now the Giants, I wouldn't do that with, but I like Dan.
No, Dan's a good guy and stuff here, man. Because like I say, my first 8 years in the league, I was with the Colts and having to play him every year in the AFC East, man. It was tough. And finally, when I had a chance to play with him in Miami for 4 years, Oh my goodness, man! It was just amazing to be able to go into every game knowing you got a chance to win no matter what the score is.
Exactly. Now, at the coach, did you play for Cush?
Unfortunately, yes.
I
was
college.
Hey man, Kush was he was something else. He was something different, man. Because coming straight out of college and back in '82 when he took over the coach, he cut all the veterans. He ran all the veterans out there. He wanted nothing but the young guys. And I tell you what, he worked us to death.
Well, he worked. We had 3 days.
Yeah.
We had 3 days.
Yeah, and when you said 3 days, it was 3 days in pads. It wasn't.
That's right.
Shorts and t-shirts. Right. It was 3 days. 3 times a day in pads, man. So, but I tell you what though, he was a good guy though, man. He told you the way it was, and it was no sugarcoating.
Really
you know exactly where you stood with it.
Yeah, he really did. You know, I played, like I said, I played for him at Arizona State, and he liked me, but he still ran me up that darn mountain.
Hey, believe me, I know I was one of the captains, man. But hey, believe me, every Monday after the game stuff, man, he took us on this 2-mile run, man. And
he loved that, didn't he? I mean, he can run too. He can run.
We be trying to take shortcuts, but you can't because he's running with you out there in the woods and stuff.
Yeah. That was the most amazing thing. That was the most amazing thing.
Hey, but 50-some years old.
Yeah, I know. But we're getting ready to end this show in a little bit. Better put Byron back on. And
hey, Jeff, thanks for having me on, man. You guys do a great job.
Hey, won't we ask Cliff to see if he can do the waddle?
He's a hater, Cliff. I know you can do the waddle.
No, man. No, man. I tell you what, I'm
even fake it. Because we don't want Byron to get any credit. He always waddling and stuff.
Hey, man.
Just the way he walks. You just did it. There you go. Now, Byron.
Oh, man. I tell you what, Jeff, it's been a pleasure, man. You guys doing a great job. Keep it up.
All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You see, that's a defensive player with all that talent.
But we having a good time here, though. It's a good night tonight. We year-end celebration here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area with all the retired players, and just updating them and telling them that we love them. Keep doing these community outreach services, and we're doing a toy drive tonight as well for some charities as well. So it's a good night. Really good night.
Plus, a lot of these guys, this is the only time they get to interact with other players. Yeah. It's not like every day, so it's really good. It's good for their spirits.
Yeah.
They see other players and, just fellowship. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, you and Linford do a correct job. I mess with you all the time, but it's good for former players to be around them because a lot of them went through the same things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's kind of like just getting in the huddle, getting in the locker room, and
exactly
talking about some of the same similarities, going through some trials and tribulation that life give you. But it's always good to have a refreshing in the eyes to come up and pat you on the back and say, "Hey, man, how you doing?"
Yeah, it is. It is. It really is, and that's the wonderful thing about it is what you just said. Is getting there because a lot of these guys played different places, but they went through the same things. So that is true.
And another good thing, we all played on different teams, so we have a different.
We have different views, but we might have played with somebody that coached on those teams, or played with the same coaches, or with the same players. So that is true. So
yeah. And the good thing about me and Cliff, we went to college that we don't do football no more. So we get mad at everybody because somebody goes there, they talk about, oh man, LSU is doing this and Baylor's doing that and TCU is doing that. And but we don't have no college to talk about.
That is true. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Yeah. Yeah.
But this is going into week 15, so it's gonna be some good football.
Oh yeah, always. And we'll be back next week talking about what's going on. We talk about how the Giants and the Cowboys won.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to get ready to take some pictures, take some good Christmas picture. You guys have.
All right, I'll be right in there. I'll get in the front of the picture.
Oh man, you're getting in the back.
All right, buddy. I'm on my way. Hey, everybody. Thank you for showing up. And this is a great show. And we'll talk to you later. See ya.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.